As your mayor, I am working on reforming our land use code. Now that doesn't sound very interesting on its face, but it is truly one of the most impactful things we can do to create conditions where we can build housing that Missoulians can afford. Our land use code right now was initially adopted in the 1930s. It was modified over the decades. It was overhauled substantially in the late 1970s to be really auto-oriented and suburban-oriented, and it was overhauled again in the mid-2000s. And it is cobbled together. It is like, frankly, it is like the junk drawer in your garage. You know, if you rummage around in there, there's a good chance you might find what you're looking for, but it is inefficient, it is disorganized, and it needs to be cleaned up. Through this land use code reform process, we are assembling the toolbox we need to build housing Missoulians can afford. That process is exciting, it is impactful, and it is ongoing, and we need to work together to get that done. The code reform process has three major components. First of all, vision. What do we want? What kind of community do we want to live in? How do we want our community to look like? What sorts of neighborhoods do we want? And we have a really bold vision in Missoula through the Our Missoula Growth Policy. The second part is the regulatory piece. Do the regulations allow us to meet the vision? And the answer right now is no. Our zoning code, because it is so out of date, does not allow us to build the type of development to meet the sustainable 21st century development that Missoulians are clamoring for. The third piece of that is process. If you go in for a building permit, what are we asking for? Is it too onerous? What is the turnaround timeline? By working on vision, regulation, and process, we can really turn the corner on our housing crisis.